In our busy world filled with noise and chatter, we often forget how powerful silence can be. Have you ever noticed how, in the midst of all the conversations and distractions, a moment of quiet can feel like a breath of fresh air? Imagine if the times we choose not to speak could be just as impactful, if not more so, than when we fill the air with words. Think about it. When was the last time you paused in a conversation, letting silence hang for just a moment? That stillness can say so much more than any words ever could. Stoicism is a fascinating, ancient philosophy that teaches us how to be strong and thoughtful, guiding us on when to speak and when to embrace the power of silence. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, once wisely noted, "It's better to trip with your feet than with your tongue." This makes us reflect. How many times have we regretted saying something we didn't mean in a moment of anger or frustration? It's all too easy to let our emotions take over and spill out words that can hurt others and ourselves. But Stoicism isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It invites us to view silence as a tool for growth and peace. Imagine facing a tough situation, perhaps a disagreement with a friend or a stressful moment at work. Instead of reacting impulsively, you take a deep breath and choose to stay quiet. In that pause, you create space to think and understand the situation better. Silence becomes a powerful choice that helps us avoid unnecessary conflicts, shields us from reactive responses, and allows us to truly listen to others. So, when should we embrace this remarkable silence? Let's explore 9 significant moments where choosing to be silent isn't just a smart decision. It can actually transform our lives. As we dive into these ideas together, I want you to think about how employing this stoic silence might reshape your interactions with others and help you find that inner peace we all crave. Picture this. Instead of raising your voice in a heated argument, what if you paused and allowed silence to fill the space? That quiet moment could reveal so much about how you truly feel and provide clarity to the situation. It's incredible to consider how that calmness can shift the energy in the room. Join us on this journey as we uncover those vital times when being quiet can lead to deeper understanding and connection. Let the wisdom of Stoicism guide us as we learn to navigate our conversations and our lives with a new perspective. After all, sometimes the most profound responses come not from what we say, but from the silence we choose to embrace. So, are you ready to explore this together? Let's dive in. But before we dive in, just take a quick moment to check if you're subscribed to the channel. We've got a series of upcoming videos packed with tips to help you improve your life. So, let's get started. Dealing with unfair criticism. When someone criticizes you unfairly, it might feel tough, but according to Stoic philosophy, it's actually a great chance to grow stronger and show your true character. The wise ruler Marcus Aurelius once said that if something outside of you bothers you, it's not that thing that hurts you, it's how you think about it. You can change your thoughts anytime. Think about this. What really bothers us about criticism isn't the words themselves, but how we react to them. How could changing your perspective on criticism help you become stronger? Can you remember a time when staying calm made a big difference, even when someone was unfair to you? For example, let's say you're leading a project at work and your boss criticizes it harshly. A stoic response would be to take a deep breath, look at the feedback calmly, and find helpful insights, while ignoring any mean comments that aren't based on facts. Epicurus taught that this way of thinking keeps your peace and protects your reputation. Living by this philosophy means responding thoughtfully instead of defensively. Let the quality of your responses and your work speak for itself. Staying silent when unfairly criticized isn't just about not saying anything. It's a smart move. It's all about focusing on what we can control, our reactions and attitudes. This quiet strength can turn a tricky situation into a chance to show how strong and dedicated you really are. As you face challenges in life, think about how silence can be your superpower. What amazing things could happen if you choose to be quietly thoughtful instead of speaking impulsively? How could this practice not only help you feel better inside, but also positively affect the people around you. When we use Stoic principles in our daily lives, especially when facing unfair criticism, we choose to value our character over trying to please others. This helps us grow and inspires those around us to do the same. In a world where people often brag and show off, Stoicism teaches us to embrace silence. Remember what the wise Marcus Aurelius said: "Don't waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Just be one." Think about how staying silent when others boast can change the atmosphere. Instead of letting egos clash, your calmness can encourage everyone to reflect and grow. There will always be criticism in life, and it can actually help us learn and get better. But sometimes criticism isn't fair, and it can hurt. In these tough moments, it's hard to stay cool and respond the right way. That's where Stoicism, which started in ancient Greece, comes in with its timeless advice. By following Stoic ideas, we can turn challenging situations into chances to grow and become stronger inside. Remember, what really matters isn't what happens to you, but how you respond to it. That's a key idea from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. When someone criticizes you unfairly, take a moment to think before you speak. This helps you avoid reacting without thinking and gives you time to figure out what's really going on without getting upset. Try to see the criticism as separate from who you are. As the Stoics say, you control your mind, not the outside events. If you keep this in mind, you'll feel much stronger. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that unfair feedback just shows how the other person feels or thinks, not your true worth or what you can do. By separating the criticism from yourself, it becomes easier to understand. Even in the most unfair comments, there might be a tiny bit of truth hidden in there. So, look for any useful feedback. Use this as a chance to get better and let go of those negative thoughts that aren't helpful. Remember what Epictetus said: "First, learn what you mean to say, and then say it." When someone criticizes you unfairly, stay calm and polite. This shows you're strong and in control, and it can help keep things from getting worse. A calm response can often cool down the critic and show that you're mature. Focus on your own growth instead of arguing about what makes a good person. As Marcus Aurelius said, just be one. Shift your attention away from the unfair comments and toward your goals and personal improvement. You can rise above the negativity and keep moving forward by focusing on your growth and values. Dealing with unfair criticism can be tough, but if you use Stoic principles, you can turn these moments into chances to grow stronger. Remember to take a moment to think before reacting. Separate the criticism from your self-worth. Look for any tiny bit of truth, and respond with calm respect. Keep your focus on your own growth, and you'll really show that Stoic strength, staying calm and strong inside even when things get tricky outside. The power of Stoic silence. During boasting, picture this. You're at a networking event, surrounded by bright lights and the buzz of conversation. People are mingling, exchanging stories. And then there's that one coworker who just can't stop bragging about their big raises and luxurious lifestyle. You can almost feel the air getting thicker with every boastful word. It's tempting, isn't it? You might feel that itch to jump in and share your own achievements to level the playing field. But here's where Stoicism steps in with a powerful lesson. Stoicism teaches us the value of restraint. Instead of reacting impulsively, choosing to be quiet in that moment can be a game changer. Imagine taking a deep breath, maintaining your cool, and letting their words wash over you without feeling the need to respond. In doing so, you allow their bragging to reveal who they really are. You save your energy for conversations that matter, those deeper connections where both sides are truly engaged. Now, let's be clear. Being silent doesn't mean you're weak. In fact, it shows incredible strength and confidence. Think about it. One wise Stoic once said that if you don't want to be outdone by others, you should respond to their empty bragging, not with words, but with the quiet strength of your actions and character. How empowering is that? Have you ever found yourself wanting to share your success story when someone else is talking about theirs? It's completely natural. But what if, instead of jumping in, you chose to really listen? Imagine nodding along, smiling to acknowledge their achievements while keeping your focus on your own goals. Embracing that stoic silence can help shift your perspective, allowing you to live a more fulfilling life based on your own worth rather than getting caught up in comparisons. By creating that peaceful space, you open the door for genuine conversations where everyone can thrive. It's not about diminishing others' successes. It's about celebrating your own journey in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. So how can you start practicing this stoic silence in your own life? Think about the next time you find yourself in a similar situation. Instead of feeling pressured to respond, embrace the power of quiet confidence. You'll not only feel more at peace but also create an atmosphere where meaningful dialogue can flourish. Handling anger. When we feel angry, it can feel like a wild storm, making it hard to think clearly. But Stoic philosophy gives us a safe spot, a moment of silence to help us deal with those big feelings. The famous Stoic Epictetus said we should keep quiet most of the time and only speak when necessary. Imagine it's a busy day at work, and a coworker makes a mistake that gives you extra work. Your first instinct might be to shout in anger, but what if you chose silence instead? By pausing and not reacting immediately, you give yourself time to think about the situation more clearly. This quiet moment can help stop the conflict from getting worse and lead to better solutions instead of heated arguments. Think about it. How often has reacting in anger made things worse? What could change if you took a moment to calm down before saying something? Marcus Aurelius, another famous Stoic, reminds us that the aftermath of anger is often worse than whatever upset us in the first place. Consider Nelson Mandela, a great leader who forgave those who had hurt him after spending years in prison. Instead of getting angry, he chose forgiveness, which not only helped him but also brought his country together. When you use silence in moments of anger, it doesn't mean you're hiding your feelings. It means you're picking a response that reflects the best version of yourself. This practice can lead to more peaceful relationships and a happier life. As you face everyday frustrations, remember that silence can be your safe space, a place where wisdom shines. Embracing this can help you find that the quiet response is not just smart, but also super powerful. Everyone feels anger sometimes, and that's okay. But when anger gets out of control, it can hurt your relationships and even your health. Stoicism teaches us great ways to manage anger by focusing on self-control, clear thinking, and finding inner peace. It's important to figure out what triggers your anger. Maybe it's a certain person, a specific place, or an event that happened. Take some time for self-reflection to understand why these things upset you so much. Often, our thoughts and beliefs play a big role in how we feel. Now, remember that you can't change everything happening around you, but you can control how you react to those situations. Practicing mindfulness can help you focus on the present moment instead of worrying about past issues or future fears. When you start to feel that anger bubbling up, try taking a few deep breaths. This simple act can calm your mind and body, giving you a moment to pause and think before responding. Imagine what could happen if you take a step back instead of reacting right away. It can be helpful to see the situation from the other person's perspective, which can often make you feel less angry and more empathetic. Instead of dwelling on what upset you, shift your focus to finding solutions that can help resolve the issue. Building emotional strength is key. Remind yourself that you have the power to choose how you respond. Learning to detach your feelings from what's happening can also help. By looking at the situation more objectively, you can prevent it from feeling too personal. As you work on getting stronger inside, find activities that help you manage your emotions, like exercising, journaling, or meditating. Instead of letting anger take control, channel that energy into something positive, such as creating art or working out. Every time you handle your feelings well, you're not just coping, you're learning and growing. You can use your anger as a chance to learn more about yourself and change how you react in the future. When someone makes you angry, try talking about your feelings in a calm and confident way. It's important to express yourself without being hostile or aggressive because managing your anger is key for your health and your relationships. By digging deeper into what's making you angry, practicing mindfulness, changing your perspective, building mental strength, and finding healthy outlets for that anger, you can turn it into a positive force. Stoic wisdom can guide you to find inner peace and lead a happier life. Now let's talk about dealing with false rumors. You know how stories can spread quickly like leaves blowing in the wind? Sometimes these rumors can be completely untrue and create confusion. Here's where Stoic philosophy steps in with a powerful answer: silence. Imagine a teacher in a small town who was wrongly accused of something bad. Instead of jumping in to defend herself or explain what happened, she chose to stay quiet and rely on her honesty and integrity. This silence wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a smart choice rooted in wisdom. Marcus Aurelius taught that you have control over your thoughts, not the events happening around you. Think about how quickly spoken words can make a situation worse. By staying silent, the teacher allowed the excitement of the rumor to fade over time. As no new evidence came to light, the truth became her best ally. This shows a key Stoic belief. You should focus on what you can control, like how you react and what actions you take, instead of stressing over things you can't change, like how rumors spread. Epictetus once said that if someone talks badly about you, you should respond with a compliment. It might sound strange, but reacting to negativity with positivity, or even silence, can help shift the energy of a conversation. When false accusations come your way, being quiet can show that you respect the truth. In your own life, think about how important it is to wait before responding to stories or rumors. Give it time for the storm to pass. Remember, the best way to protect your peace and your reputation is to live by the ideals you believe in, rather than trying to fight every whisper that comes your way. In tough situations, staying silent isn't just about protecting yourself. It's also a way to show your commitment to Stoic principles. So, as you navigate the ups and downs of personal and professional relationships, let Stoic silence guide you through the chaos of false rumors, leading you toward a peaceful, happy, and successful life. All right, let's move on to the next part. But before we do, I noticed you haven't hit that like button yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube show our videos to more people and keeps our content coming your way. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's free and it means a lot. Thanks, and let's keep going. Now, let's talk about dealing with loss. How do you handle that heavy silence that often follows a big loss? Losing someone or something important is a common experience that can leave you feeling sad and confused. But Stoicism has a special way to help with that pain. For example, the author C.S. Lewis, who wrote about his grief after losing his wife in his book A Grief Observed, said, "The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before." This perspective is very much in line with Stoic thinking. It reminds us that the sadness we feel is a reflection of the joy we once had. Stoics believe that everything we go through is part of a bigger flow of life. Loss and love are like two sides of the same coin. Seneca, a well-known Stoic philosopher, once said that the day we worry might be our last is actually the birthday of eternity. This makes us think, how would your response to loss change if you saw it as a shift rather than an ending? What could you discover by accepting the quiet that comes after a loss? When C.S. Lewis experienced the death of his wife, he didn't try to fill the silence with distractions or explanations. Instead, he used that quiet time to really explore his feelings. This reflects the Stoic idea that challenges can help us grow as people. His journey through grief taught him that keeping a calm mind can help us deal with deep emotional pain and help us understand how fragile and beautiful life is. Remember, that silence after a loss isn't about hiding or denying what happened. It's a chance to relax, think, and heal. It's about finding meaning in the pain you're feeling right now and allowing those feelings to flow naturally without rushing to end them. Think back to how you've handled losses in the past. How might using reflective silence, like the Stoics teach, help you during future times of grief? How could this approach not only help you heal, but also support the healing of those around you? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences with loss. How have Stoic practices influenced your journey? What lessons have you learned? And how has embracing silence helped you grow? Let's chat about it in the comments below. One of the toughest things we face in life is dealing with death. It can be really hard to handle the sadness that comes when we lose something important, like a loved one, a job, or a big opportunity. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy started by Zeno of Citium in Athens, gives us timeless tips for getting through these tough times. By looking at life through a Stoic lens, we can find strength and peace, even when we experience big losses. First, it's important to recognize and accept your feelings. When you lose someone or something, it's totally normal to feel sad or upset. Stoicism teaches us that these feelings are just part of being human. So, allow yourself to cry and feel that pain without judging yourself. Talking to a trusted friend or writing in a journal can really help you process those emotions. Next, pay attention to what you can actually change. Stoics say we should let go of the things we can't control and focus on what we can. Ask yourself, what can I change about how I deal with this loss? By letting go of what you can't change, you can find some relief. Then, try to see the loss as an opportunity to grow. Stoics believe that every challenge is a chance to become better. Think about what this experience can teach you. Maybe it can help you be wiser, kinder, or stronger. Also, practice gratitude. Focusing on what you still have can lift your spirits. Try writing down things you're thankful for every day. This simple exercise can change your perspective and help you feel more peaceful. Lastly, don't hesitate to seek support from others. Whether it's joining a group or talking to friends, sharing your feelings can make a big difference. Stoicism reminds us how important it is to have a supportive group around us, especially during tough times. One great step you can take is to talk to family, friends, or even support groups. Sharing your problems with others can really help you feel better and less alone. Losing something or someone is never easy, but Stoic ideas can help us stay strong and bounce back. By recognizing our feelings, focusing on what we can control, changing our perspective, practicing gratitude and asking for help, we can heal and grow. Now, let's talk about navigating ignorance with Stoic grace. Have you ever met someone who seems super confident but doesn't really understand what they're talking about? It can be frustrating, right? But this is a perfect chance to practice patience. Galileo, the famous scientist who argued that the Earth revolves around the sun when everyone else thought the opposite, faced a lot of challenges. Even though he was opposed and put under house arrest, he remained true to his beliefs and often stayed quiet in the face of false accusations. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing we can control is how we respond to others, not what they say or do. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events." Remembering this can give you strength and help you handle tough situations with grace. Next time you meet someone who's completely wrong, think about how you can respond differently. What if you knew you could control your reaction? Galileo's silence wasn't a sign of weakness. It showed how honest and confident he was in his discoveries. He understood that the truth doesn't need a lot of words. It can stand strong all by itself. This idea connects to Stoicism, which teaches us to focus on our own actions and accept that we can't control what others believe. Being gracious means knowing your limits and choosing your battles wisely. It's about being patient and understanding, even when you feel frustrated. This approach can lead to a happier life and helps you see the bigger picture, focusing on long-term respect and success instead of immediate wins. Think about how staying silent can be a wise reaction when someone says something silly. How might this help you in your relationships and overall well-being? Let Galileo inspire you to practice this Stoic silence, turning challenging moments into chances for inner peace and growth. Now let's chat about dealing with rumors. We've all been in situations where we hear whispers about ourselves getting louder, right? It's a totally normal reaction to feel upset. But guess what? Keeping quiet can really change the game. Take the example of a community leader who worked hard to protect the environment, but faced false rumors about her benefiting personally. Instead of addressing every little rumor, she stayed focused on her important work, remembering what Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike those who hurt you." This leader's choice to stay quiet and keep working hard made her actions speak louder than any rumor ever could. It shows an important Stoic idea. It's not the events around us that upset us, but how we choose to react to them. Imagine how different your life could be if you ignored rumors and just stayed silent. What strength would you find by not trying to explain yourself, but instead sticking to your own path? If someone says something unkind about you, and it's true, Epictetus says to fix what you can. But if it's a lie, well, this wise leader kept the peace by encouraging her community to laugh at the nonsense. Those who didn't believe in her eventually faded away, but her calmness and dedication proved that Stoic silence can help protect your reputation and self-respect. This story shows us that Stoicism is still relevant today. How we react to false information can either make things worse or help cool things down. Silence isn't just doing nothing. It's a powerful choice that lets our actions reveal the kind of person we really are. So think about how you can use this approach the next time you hear rumors. How could practicing Stoic silence help you stay calm and focused? How might it change how others view you over time? I'd love for you to share your thoughts and stories about dealing with rumors in the comments below. What have you learned from these experiences? How has silence helped you navigate through tough times? Your insights could be just what someone else needs to hear. Remember, rumors can spread quickly and cause stress, so it's important to have good ways to handle gossip in this fast-paced world. There's some really wise advice in Stoic thinking that can help us stay calm and clear-headed when problems pop up. First, it's super important to keep your feelings in check, especially when you hear rumors. If you react too quickly or too strongly, it can make everything worse and give those stories more power. Instead, take a moment to pause, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that what others think doesn't define who you are. Doing things that help you relax, like mindfulness or meditation, can really help keep your cool. Next, get clear on the facts. Many rumors are based on unclear information, so don't just take things at face value. Look for trustworthy sources and gather the right details to figure out what's really going on. Talk to reliable people who can give you good information before making any decisions. It's also important to think before you act. How you respond to a story can change how true it seems. If you jump into action without thinking, you might misunderstand things and spread the rumor even more. So take a moment to consider your response carefully. Sometimes the best reaction is to stay quiet or speak slowly and thoughtfully. Pay attention to how you act and what your personality shows in those moments. By staying calm and thinking things through, you can handle situations with grace and wisdom. The best way to push back against fake rumors is to just be your awesome self. Over time, if you stay honest and true to who you are, those silly stories will fade away. Keep living by your beliefs and doing good things that reflect who you really are. The more consistently you act this way, the less people will believe the false stories about you. It's also important to practice not worrying too much about what others think. Stoicism teaches us to let go of things we can't control, like other people's opinions. Remember, you can't change what others say or think about you. Focus on your actions and thoughts instead. Accept yourself and trust in your values, no matter what anyone else might say. By using Stoic ideas, like controlling your emotions, seeking the truth, and responding wisely, you can handle rumors calmly and confidently. These tips will help you tackle the challenges that come with gossip while keeping your honor and peace of mind intact. Now, when it comes to facing injustice, Stoic philosophy really shines. It teaches us to approach life's problems with fairness and inner strength, especially when things feel unfair. There's a wise saying, "Bear and forbear," which means to endure tough times without complaining and to forgive others for their mistakes. A great example is Nelson Mandela. He fought against racism in South Africa, and even though he spent many years in prison, he didn't let anger consume him. Instead, he came out promoting peace and unity, showing incredible Stoic resilience. Mandela didn't just stand by when unfair things happened. He chose to focus on healing and bringing people together instead of seeking revenge. This shows a big idea in Stoicism. Our true power comes from how we react to what happens around us. Imagine how our lives could change if we responded to unfairness like Mandela did. Could we choose to be understanding and kind, even when it feels really tough? When unfair things happen, staying calm can be really powerful. Marcus Aurelius, a wise Roman, said that the best way to get back at someone who hurt you is to not be like them. Instead of fighting back, we can choose to heal and think ahead. Mandela's actions changed how an entire country viewed justice and peace. His life teaches us that being silent doesn't mean giving up. It can be a strong way to create change and show integrity. This Stoic approach isn't about accepting unfairness without a fight. It's more about using that silence as a smart strategy, preparing us to take thoughtful actions. It's about keeping our inner peace and inspiring others to find good solutions for problems. As we face unfairness in our own lives, let's remember Mandela's quiet strength. His story reminds us that sometimes the best response comes from silence, helping us build a better future and lead happier lives. By embracing this mindset, we can turn our struggles into opportunities for positive change, both personally and in our communities. Everyone faces unfair situations at some point in their lives, and as a Stoic, it's super important to handle these moments with calmness and wisdom. Thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus have great advice for dealing with unfairness. They remind us to focus on what we can control, keep our cool inside, and think logically. First, keep your peace. Marcus Aurelius said it's essential to stay calm, no matter what's happening around you. To help with that, try deep breathing or meditation. These can really help you feel centered. Next, accept that some things are beyond your control. You can't change what others do, but you can change how you react. Before you act, take a moment to think things through. Instead of reacting right away, pause and consider the best response. Try to understand why the unfair thing happened. This can make everything clearer and might even help you find a solution. Remember, getting back at people only makes things worse. Instead, respond in a calm and reasonable way. Always stick to your values and principles. Let your actions reflect what you believe is right. This way, you'll set a good example for others on how to handle unfairness with respect and honor. Your behavior can inspire those around you to stay strong and act wisely too. When you face a problem, it's important to focus on finding solutions rather than just dwelling on what's wrong. Approach the situation with the mindset of figuring out how to make things better by communicating openly and honestly with everyone involved. Sharing your thoughts can help everyone work towards a fair solution. Whenever possible, advocate for changes that address the unfairness and don't hesitate to stand up for what's right. After dealing with a tough situation, take a moment to reflect on what happened and what you can learn from it. Every experience is an opportunity to grow stronger. Gathering the skills and knowledge you need to handle similar situations better in the future is key. By staying calm, thinking logically, and remaining true to your values, you can tackle unfairness with kindness and honesty. This way, you can turn tough moments into chances for personal growth and positive change. Now, let's talk about handling insults with wisdom. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that if someone provokes us, it's often because our minds are going along with it. This means we have the power to choose how we respond. Instead of reacting with anger, you can opt for calmness and silence. Take Mahatma Gandhi as an example. When he faced insults during his fight for India's freedom, he didn't respond with anger. He chose to understand and remain peaceful. By keeping your cool, you show real strength and wisdom. Gandhi believed in peacefulness, which is a lot like the Stoic way of living. When he faced insults or attacks, he chose to stay quiet. This often made his enemies less aggressive and helped him gain support from the people. Imagine how staying calm like Gandhi could change how others interact with you. By not reacting impulsively, you give yourself space to think and act wisely. Keeping your cool not only helps you stay calm, but also makes you look like a strong leader. Think about what Marcus Aurelius said. The pain from anger and sadness can be worse than the original problem. As you face daily challenges, consider how powerful a calm response can be. It might just be the key to a happier, more successful life. Reflect on how your actions can influence how others deal with their own issues. Throughout our exploration of these moments where silence is valuable, Stoic wisdom has guided us toward peace and understanding. Marcus Aurelius encouraged us not to waste time arguing about what makes a good person. Instead, we should simply be one. As we come to the end of our journey today, let's take a moment to really appreciate the power of silence. You know, it's not just about being quiet, it's about being intentional with our words and our listening. Think back to a time when you felt overwhelmed in a conversation. Maybe someone was angry, or the situation was just too intense. What if, instead of jumping in with your own thoughts, you took a breath and let that moment of silence settle? By practicing the strength found in silence, we open ourselves up to deeper understanding and connection. Imagine walking into a room filled with chatter, and instead of joining in, you take a step back. You listen, you observe, and in that stillness, you gain insights that you might have missed if you were just busy talking. Isn't that amazing? And here's a little challenge for you. Try to incorporate these Stoic principles into your everyday life. The next time you're in a heated discussion or feel the urge to respond immediately, pause. Take a moment to reflect. How might that change your perspective? How might it help you connect better with others? Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, by embracing the power of silence, we can lead lives filled with peace, kindness, and understanding. If you found this discussion helpful, give us a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, and spread these insightful ideas with others. If you're new here, subscribe for more lessons in Stoicism to help you grow. See you next time.